Today we continue to listen the Four Noble Truths. First, we have to recite Dukkha Sitya Bali. When you follow me, Kataminja Bhikkhave Dukkha Riya Sitya Jatibi Dukkha Jarabi Dukkha Maranambi Dukkha Soka Paridewa Dukkha Domanasu Sabi Dukkha Abhiyehi Samyogo Pi Dukkha Piyehi Vibhyogo Pi Dukkha Yampejana Labadi Dambi Dukkha Sankhetena Pinjubada Nekhanda Dukkha. We recite together. Kataminja Bhikkhave Dukkha Riya Sitya Jativi Dukkha Jarabi Dukkha Maranambi Dukkha Soka Paridewa Dukkha Domanasu Sabi Dukkha Abhiyehi Samyogo Pi Dukkha Piyehi Vibhyogo Pi Dukkha Yampejana Labadi Dambi Dukkha Sankhetena Pinjubada Nekhanda Dukkha. Translation, follow me. And what bhikkhus is the noble truth of suffering? Birth is suffering, aging is suffering, death is suffering, sorrow, lamentation, pain, grief, and excessive despair are suffering. Association with the dislike is suffering. Separation from the like is suffering. Not to get what one wishes, that also is suffering. In brief, the five aggregates of clinging are suffering. Dukkha Riya Sitya, only the Buddha and Ariyas should realize this truth of suffering. We understand, we know the truth of suffering, but not really, not all suffering we don't know. So Buddha and Arahants, they totally realize that Jatipi Dukkha, rebirth is suffering, Jarapi Dukkha, aging is suffering, and Maranampi Dukkha, death is suffering. Death, Marana, means the extension of Jivita Namarupa, extension of our life principle, which has been in ceaseless operation since the time of our conception as conditioned by our individual karma in a particular existence. And Buddha said regarding to Marana, Sabbe Bhayanti Michuno, all beings are in constant fear of death. That means just a moment of dissolution of Jivita Namarupa by Nirvana, and it's not by its pain or distress, but that is really frightening. When death comes, we have to abandon our physical body. We have to leave behind our dear and near ones. We have to leave behind our relatives and friends together with all our own properties. If we have too much attachment, more problem. The thought of living the present existence is very frightening, and every being is seized with fear of death. The last moment, we have to reach our result of this life. Which existence you are bound to after this life? If destination is not very good, it causes great fear. Now all you are preparing for this destination. Because of his fearsome, dreadful nature, Buddha had described that Varanampi Dokhan, that is suffering. According to the commentary, wicked people burdened with unwholesome past karma
Recording in progress. Oh.
see on their deathbed the evil karma they had done, karma, or the wicked people may see the karma nimitta, signs of their foul deeds, or they may see kri nimitta, signs of destiny, signs of the four woeful states in which they are doomed to take rebirth. All of which give those people intense mental suffering. And how about the good people? Good people with accumulations of wholesome karma, they also suffer too, as they dwell on the approaching death, because at that moment cannot open the eyes. When open the eyes, all are horrible, or have to be departed, and they cannot bear to part all. They cannot bear to part all from all that they hold dear, beloved ones, and properties. And death, as death draws near, all beings are subjected to severe attacks of diseases and illness. which afflict our body with unbearable pain. So death is the basic of all such physical and mental pain. Then Buddha named that as dukkha. So what are the causes of death? There are four causes of death. Number one, the expiration of our lifespan. Number two, the expiration of our productive karmic force. Number three, the simultaneous expiration of our lifespan and the productive karmic force. Number four, the intervention of our destructive karma. So these are the four causes of death. These four causes of death are explained with the simile of an oil lamp. You can imagine or you can visualize an oil lamp burning. It will be burning so long as there is a wick, there is oil, and there is no gust of wind, or there is no deliberate extinguishing by a person. When the wick is used up, the flame will go out. And if the oil is used up, the flame will go out. And when both the wick and oil are used up, the flame will go out. Even though there is oil, there is wick, but when there is a gust of wind or somebody extinguish it, the flame will go out. So in the same way, the expiration of our lifespan is like the expiration of the wick. The expiration of the karmic force is like the expiration of the oil. The expiration of both wick and oil. The expiration of both the lifespan and the karmic force is like the expiration of the wick and oil. The last one, the flame going out because of a gust of wind or somebody extinguish it, is like a destructive karma. So there are these four kinds of death. Death in Buddhism is defined as the interruption of the life faculties included in the limits of one existence or one becoming Jivitendriya or life faculty is important. When our life faculty expire, we are said to die. When a person dies, both mental faculties and physical faculties disappear. With the cessation of the mental and physical faculty, we are said to die. So that is just the interruption or cutting of that life faculties. The first one, death through expiration of lifespan. The first kinds of death comes through the expiration of our lifespan. As you know, there are some realms which have fixed lifespan. Chatumarajika, celestial realms, Tavatesa, celestial realms, and so on. But for our human beings, there is no fixed lifespan. The lifespan of our human beings is supposed to be about 100 years. If a person dies when he reaches 100 years, although his karmic force is still unexalted, he is said to die through expiration of lifespan. His past karma may have potential to give him a longer life, but since he was born at a time when humans only live for 100 years and he or she dies at the age of 100 years, he or she is said to die at the expiration of the lifespan. For devas, for celestial beings, their lifespan is longer than that for our human beings. When celestial beings die at the end of their lifespan, for example, Chatumarajika celestial beings, death is at the end of 500 celestial years. Dying at the end of 500 celestial years would be dying through expiration of lifespan for them. Number two, death through expiration of karmic force. So there is death before the end of a normal given lifespan. For example, human beings are supposed to live for about 100 years now. If a person dies before 100 years, he or she is said to die due to the expiration of the productive karmic force. His karma in the past cannot help him to live up to 100 years. So he or she dies before he or she reach 100 years. In the case, he is said to die because of the expiration of the productive karmic force. When a person dies through the expiration of the productive karmic force, his lifespan may not be exalted. And also there are other favorable conditions for the prolongation of life. Although they are there are these conditions, and although lifespan is not exalted, still his karmic force is exalted. So he dies before he reached the end of the lifespan. It is death through the expiration of his or her karmic force. And number 3, death through both expiration of lifespan and karmic force. So when both karmic productive force and the lifespan simultaneously come to an end, there is death due to the expirations of both. For example, a human being dies at the age of 100 years, then he is said to die through expiration of both his lifespan and karmic force. And number 4, death through destructive karma. The fourth kind of death is through a destructive karma. A destructive karma can be a past karma done in previous life or something done in this present life. Destructive karma intervenes when a person is killed by his own attempt or by attempt of other people, or if he or she is killed by some disease. Although in the case of some person who commit a very heinous offense against those who are very virtuous, then their karmic force cannot maintain their life, cannot prolong their life up to the end of their lifespan or up until they reach to their normal end. So that kind of death is called death through the intervention of a destructive karma. So death through the intervention of a destructive karma can be caused by the karma of the past. When a person dies through a destructive karma, that destructive karma can belong to the past, or it can be in this life. You may know there is a story about a king who cut the hands and feet of a hermit who was a bodhisattva. Our bodhisattva in that life was called Kantiwadi because he practiced forbearance. He practiced patience. And the king was displeased with him. So the king wanted to test him because he is Kantiwadi, he is patient, he practiced patience. So the king wanted to test him whether the Kantiwadi hermit had real patience. So the king ordered the hermit's hands to be cut off, and then his legs to be cut off. All those hands and legs were cut off, the hermit did not get angry. But this crime was so grave that the king was swallowed by the earth. So the king's offense of cutting off the hermit's hands and legs was so bad that it interfered or it destroyed the force of his past karma. So that force could not maintain his life any longer. Thus he was swallowed by the earth and died. And he was reborn in Awiji hell. So that sort of death is called death through destructive karma. So there are many kinds of death through destructive karma, dying in an accident, committing suicide, or dying in natural calamities as well. So there are these four kinds of death taught in Buddhism. Among them, the first three are called Kala Marana, timely death. Kala Marana, timely death. That means a person dies when it is time for him to die. But the last one is called Akala Marana, untimely death. There is still lifespan and there is still force of productive karma, but it is cut off through a destructive karma. So it is called Akala Marana, untimely death. So his life is like the flame of an oil lamp going out with a gust of wind. These are the four kinds of death. When a person is about to die, one of the three kinds of objects presents itself to his or her mind through one of the six sense doors, through eyes, through ears, and so on. That presentation of the object itself is caused by the force of karma. The object appears to the mind of a dying person by the force of karma he or she did in the past. That karma may be kusala karma, wholesome deeds, or akusala karma, unwholesome deeds. So what will happen when we are dying? The three kinds of objects may appear at the time of our death. So what are the three kinds of objects? Number one, karma. Number two, signs of karma, karma nimitta. Number three, signs of destiny, kati nimitta. So at the dying moment, there will appear any one of these three will present itself to the minds of a dying person. Karma is the karma that is productive of rebirth. So the karma here is productive karma that gives uh, relinking, relinking results in the next existence. So you understand karma. What is karma? Buddha said, Chitanaham bhikkhave karma varami. Bhikkhus, it is volition that I call karma. Volition. The popular meaning of karma is action or doing, but as a technical term, karma means volition or will. When we do something, there is volition behind it, and that volition, that mental effort, is called karma. Buddha explained that having willed, one acts through body, speech, and mind. Whatever you do, there is some kinds of karma, mental effort, will, or volition. So volition is one of the 52 mental states which arise together with consciousness. So when you do something such as make an offering to the Buddha, and there is volition which prompts you to give, and that volition is called karma. So thus, karma is the cause, not the effect. Some people say that karma means the cause, the deeds, and also the effect. In Theravada Buddhism, karma never means the effect or the results. Karma means only the cause. Karma belongs to the mental aggregates. There are 5 aggregates. You are watching, you are observing. You are observing rupa aggregates, materiality, vedana, feeling, sanya, perception, sankhara, mental formation, and vijnana, consciousness. You are observing very closely. Volition belongs to the aggregates of formation, sankhara, khanda. The aggregates of formation is mental, and just as other mental states, just as other mental states, volition lasts only a very short moment, and it comes into being, stays only a little bit of time, and then pass away. But volition is different from other mental states in that it has the ability to leave some potential. When it dies, it does not disappear altogether. It leaves something, some power or some potential to give results when circumstances favor and those results to appear. So one does karma here and now, but the results may be in this life the next life, or in some life after the next life. So karma or volition, Chetana, has potential to give results, and this potential is a tremendous force. So karma does not end with the demise of this present life. It, karma goes on and on. But we cannot say that karma is stored somewhere in our body or consciousness, because everything is impermanent and must be continually changing. So karma is likewise impermanent and so disappear. But karma leaves a potential in the continuity of beings, so that when circumstances are favorable for results to appear, those results appear. Once again, karma is not stored anywhere, but when karma disappears, it leaves a potential for results. So that is number one of the object may appear when we are dying. And number two, karma nimitta, signs of karma. There is a form, etc., that has been apprehended previously at the time of performing the karma. So that means the main object at the time of performing that karma, and also something that was instrumental in performing the karma. So there are two kinds of signs of karma, the main and the secondary or instrumental. Let us say a person do merits, wholesome deeds. The signs of karma is donating a monastery, donating a hospital, and the monastery or hospital is the main object, and the furniture, medicine used at the monastery or hospital, giving alms and the giving of the robes and so on. These are called instrumental in performing the karma. So there are two signs of karma. If it is building a pagoda, building a hospital, that pagoda or hospital is the main object. The flowers or the medicines and so on are the secondary object. So if the person do bad karma, akusala, unwholesome deeds, it is similar for the akusala, unwholesome act such as killing an animal, stealing, etc. Akusala karma he do. And the animal is the main object, and the weapons used in killing is called instrumental or secondary object. So in every science of karma, there may be these two varieties, the main object and secondary. So this science of karma may appear when we are dying. And number three, Gati Nimitta, signs of destiny. Signs of destiny, that is a symbol of the state to be obtained and experienced in the immediately following existence. So signs of destiny may come to dying person's consciousness. Immediately following existence is called destiny here. So the signs of destiny means the signs of death immediately following existence. There are again two varieties for signs of destiny, one to be obtained and one to be experienced. That means when the person have done meritorious deeds, unfortunately he will be reborn as a human being. If a person is going to be reborn as a human being, what is the signs of destiny to be obtained? The signs of destiny to be obtained is a wall of his or her mother's womb. The signs to be experienced is the experience of his or her life as a human being. And if the person have done good deeds, and if he's going to be reborn in celestial states, celestial realms, then celestial realms is the state to be obtained, and the celestial mansion, celestial names, devis, celestial trees, and others are those that are experienced. So if the person have done a lot of misdeeds, unwholesome deeds, the person is going to be reborn in hell. Then hell is the state to be obtained, and hellfire and those who do torture to the inhabitants of hell are called the signs to be experienced in that existence. Here also the signs of destiny is of two kinds. The main and the secondary is the secondary. The main sign is the existence or the realms where a dying person is to be reborn. The secondary ones are those things that you will experience in that life. So one of these three kinds of objects, karma or karma nimitta or gati nimitta, will present itself to, to our mind when we are dying. So to the mind of a person who is dying, any one of these objects present itself when they appear to the minds of the dying person. They may appear through any one of the six senses, eyes or ears, etc. So they appear to the dying person through the force of the karma done in the past. So the last moment you have to read the results. The whole life, what you are doing, the result will come out at the time of death. So karma done in the past. So in the past mean previously in this life, the whole life, the whole in this life he have done the karma, or in other past life. Other past life we don't know we have done what good deeds, bad deeds, all makes we may have done. So at one time, Buddha was dwelling at the monastery of Anathapindika in Jeta Grove near the city of Savatthi. So we have to listen the story of Madhammika, the disciple. When Buddha dwelt in Savatthi, a lay disciple by the name of Dhammika, who was virtuous and very fond of doing charity. So Dhammika generously offered food and other requisites to the, the Sangha and holy people regularly, and also on special occasion. In fact, Madhammika Upasaka was the leader of many virtuous lay disciples of the Buddha who lived in Savatthi. So Madhammika had many children, and all of them, like their father, were also virtuous and devoted to charity. There are three types of children, three types of sons and daughters. Some sons and daughters are practicing and following, but they are more virtuous and more generously offered than their parents. So these children are superior to superior than their father. They are called Adijata. Some children are following the practice similar to their parents. They are called Anujata. Anujata, that means they are similar, their practice is similar to their parents. And some children are not following the the not following the practice, not following the not practicing similar to their parents, and they are inferior to their they are practicing inferior to their parents. So they are called Awajata. Now, but Madhammika children are similar to their father. Like their father, the children were also virtuous and devoted to charity and helping others, etc. And when Dhammika Upasaka was old, he was very sick and he was on his deathbed. He requested his children to invite the Sangha, and the Sangha came to his house, and he requested the Sangha for chanting. The Sangha asked the Madhammika, what discourse do you want to listen? Madhammika Upasaka asked them to recite Mahasatipatthana Sutta, because Mahasatipatthana Sutta was respected by every Buddha. So the Sangha started to chant Ekaya no Ayambe Kwe Mego Satana Visuddhiya, etc. When the Sangha started to recite Mahasatipatthana Sutta, starting from Ekaya no Yambi Kuimego, etc., Madhamika Upasaka saw a vision of 6 decorated chariot from the 6 celestial realms arriving. And the celestial beings from 6 celestial worlds invited him. Dhammika Upasaka, come to our Chatumarajika realms, and others devas also invited, come to our Tawadesa, and others devas requested, come to our Tusita, etc. So they invited him to their respective celestial realms. So Madhamika Upasaka told them, told the celestial beings, Agameta, Agameta, wait for a while, wait for a while. Madhamika Upasaka told the celestial beings from 6 celestial realms who are inviting him to their respective celestial worlds. When Dhammika Upasaka told the celestial beings to wait for a while, and the Sangha misunderstood. Now the Upasaka don't like to listen the talk, to listen the chanting, and they stop. They stop their chanting. When Sangha stopped their chanting, the children were very surprised. In the beginning, in his life, Dhammika Upasaka really respect the chanting. He liked chanting very well. He practiced Dhamma very well. Now in the last moment, at the dying moment, he don't like to listen the chanting. And the children started to cry because the bhikkhus thinking that they were being asked to stop, and they did not continue their chanting, and the Sangha decided to leave the place. A little while later, Dhammika Upasaka awakened, and he told the children, "Where are the monk? They are not chanting." "No, father, you asked the monks to stop chanting." So they left the place. "No, I don't mean like this." The father Dhammika Upasaka told his children, "They decorated chariots are waiting for me, and they are requesting to come to their celestial realms. So I asked the celestial beings, uh, uh, wait for a while." I told you devas, and I want to go to the two-seater realms, two-seater deva realms, and make the garland and throw the garland to the chariot of the two-seater Devarams, and the children threw a garland to saying that garland may hang to the chariot of the two-seater Devarams. And then Madhamika Upasaka talked to his children to do meritorious deeds in your life. And now I will be going to the two-seater Devarams. And then he passed away with happiness and confidence in his mind. So regarding this, Buddha expounded these stanzas. Ida modati, picha modati, kata punyo upayata modati. So modati, so pamodati, deswa kama visodi matano. That means here he rejoiced. Hereafter he rejoiced. In both states the well-doer rejoiced. He rejoiced, exceedingly rejoices, perceiving the purity of his own deeds. So if you do meritorious deeds, if you do wholesome deeds, if you do charity, if you perform morality, and if you practice meditation, etc., you can rejoice in this life. And at the dying moment, you will rejoice also. And the future destiny is very smooth. So in both states, in this life or after this life, the well-doer rejoice. So the well-doer rejoice, exceedingly rejoices, perceiving the purity of your own deeds. So regarding Dhammika Upasaka, seeing the very good Gati Nimitta signs of destiny, Buddha expounded these stanzas is from Dhammavara. So we have to understand that there are three signs, three things will be appeared at the dying moment, and the signs of destiny is important. We have to prepare for the signs of destiny be surely favorable and good. So we will continue next time. We have to stop our discourse for today by practicing vipassana meditation, by observing every phenomena occurring at the six senses, by noting rising, falling, sitting, hearing, etc. continuously and meticulously. May all yogis be liberated from all suffering. May all yogis realize the real peace in a very near future.